Hello, my name is Dolphin, and today I will be evaluating the brand new Planet Coaster 2 in Verdict series. If you would like to see these evaluations along the 100-minute dive episode, check out my Patreon page, and now let's jump to the review. The first category is short-term engagement. It's fun to start your own park, especially if you haven't spent much time in the original Planet Coaster. It's easy to get into, and for a while the experience is engaging until you start encountering some issues which we will explore in other categories. However, in this category, besides general fun, we also need to address the storyline, characters, and players' motivation. As for the story, maybe I'm just not the right audience for it, but everything started to feel irritating rather quickly. The so-so jokes were initially fun because they matched the characters, and the lengthy intro was not terrible. The problem was that this tone continued throughout the game. Jokes remained just okay, the story felt predictable, and you could see where it was headed long before the characters developed their not so smart theories about what was happening, and the dialogue itself felt way too slow in pacing. Player motivation in campaign also seems to be lacking. All you get are the medals and stars that aren't particularly challenging to earn, so they feel more like a checklist for completing chores and listening to long lessons from boring teacher rather than a rewarding experience for solving management challenges. 2 out of 5 for short-term engagement. The second category, replayability and complexity, didn't leave a much better impression. The main advantage here is, of course, the freedom to create anything your imagination allows. You can adjust roller coasters by inches, design any park layout, and enjoy the creative process. But unfortunately, that's really where the complexity ends. The game lacks meaningful management challenges. Features that could have added depth just aren't there, as you see in a 100-minute dive episode, so levels don't present much difficulty. If you're not looking for something to replace, let's say, relaxing jigsaw puzzle on Sunday evening or a slightly improved version of Planet Coaster's first edition, there's not much here to keep you engaged. The only kudos for developers here is that they managed to quickly release a hotfix while predictably working on extra DLC to complete the game. 2 out of 5. Visuals and audio seem to be the best category of the game so far. The Sims-like style fits well with Planet Coaster, just as it did in the previous edition. The music is fun and sound effects are balanced and not overwhelming. While there aren't many cinematic scenes, this is not a major issue, and while voice lines can be irritating, the quality of voice acting itself stands out as one of the strongest aspects in this category. As for graphics, there is an improvement over the 2016 title for sure, but it's not groundbreaking. While the game doesn't require highly detailed graphics and some individual scenery pieces look really nice, the overall visuals fall short. When you zoom in on people and environment, the graphics don't quite feel like they're from 2024. It's more like a game from 2018 or 19 coming right after the first edition with only few visual upgrades. Overall, I would rate this category 3.5 out of 5. Handling and user interface can leave a good short-term impression as it looks clear and nice, but it gets irritating in the long term, like everything in this game so far. From buggy, poorly connected paths to unexplained features to missing essentials like testing time predictions or error messages for unfinished roller coasters, the UI feels incomplete. Notifications stay up long after they're being outdated, and the building menu lacks a reset to ground level button, and trying to copy paths with roller coasters is way harder than it should be. To add a few more things, in-game help is practically non-existent, yet tutorial barely scratches the surface. You get a detailed explanation on how to use zoom and VASD keys, which isn't exactly complex or new, I think, but from there it jumps straight to the coaster building with no mention of shortcuts like the Alt Access circular menu. This applies to many features. Some may exist, but if you're constantly balancing between researching if there are in a game and between getting frustrated assuming they're not, it's a bad game design. Players should not have to dig for your basic tools. Everything should be accessible and clear. You can say that it's not super hard or you will look for it if you need it, but with current design I honestly have no idea how someone playing Planet Coaster 2 as their first game ever would learn all those hidden features and still enjoy themselves. And in my opinion, we should think about totally new players' experience. On top of that, the game is filled with bugs and strange design choices, but we don't have time to get into here, since I'm covering tutorial issues on negative factors section and only mention them here for in-game help situation. I'm giving a slightly higher score, but it's still not impressive. 2.5 out of 5. And the last category, Uniqueness and Wow Factor. On one hand, this is a continuation of the legendary Planet Coaster, and there aren't many games in this genre, so it should stand out. But to be honest, the original one and other decade-old iterations provide stiff competition for this title. Longtime fans of the series point out missing features like ATM, security and sandbox guest cab being 6000. Some even say that Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 had better water physics, and many fans canceled their pre-orders due to these and other gaps in the game. To my fresh eye on the series, this game doesn't feel like a revolutionary upgrade from previous entries. The major edition pools and water coasters seems more suited to a DLC than a full sequel, as it isn't significantly upgraded as we discussed before. So it feels more like an old game remaster than a truly modern roller coaster park management game with a fresh angle. We evaluate some extra components in this category, so I need to address that creating your own park can lead to memorable moments and emotional impact. Of course, that experience isn't too different from past games, so this doesn't add much to its uniqueness after all. 2 out of 5. And we finally get to negative factors, and there's still something to point out. First, of course, is a terrible tutorial experience, and second is high price. With 50 euros for this title, and keeping in mind that possibly many missing features will come as a paid DLC, and some things cannot be changed unless it's roller coaster free, it's way too big price for this game. So this is a first title in the series to earn full 2 negative stars. To sum up, you could say that I might just not be the right audience for the game, or that it doesn't quite align with other games on the leaderboard. But from my perspective, without any updates, this game works well enough for someone who wants to just spend time creating a simple aesthetic park. However, for players looking for a title that offers a bit more in terms of management, city building or other challenges, and not experience bugs or strange design choices as well, for those players it does not feel especially engaging title. I have to say that aside from few strangely hyped YouTube channels covering this game, I've seen longtime fans expressing disappointment and supporting critiques of this title. The overall direction of the game's development feels similar to City Skylines 2, which also launched with significant issues and went down a long path of fixes. So I think the current score of 2 stars and 13th position on the leaderboard are fair and well-deserved evaluations. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. This was Free Happy Dolphin, and see you next time.